like that here.
Right here in our factory in Glasgow, we've been designing and making disruptive, market-leading hi-fi products for almost 5 decades. From the LP12 to the CD12 to Climax DS, Linn has a proud history of setting new standards in audio source products. Today promises to be another proud and special moment as we reveal our next landmark innovation on our journey towards musical perfection. It's been over 13 years since we launched the original Climax DS. And at that time, if we wind back to 2007, streaming was not an accepted hi-fi product format. Linn was the first, really, to introduce a high-end streaming player at a time when streaming was associated mainly with MP3, low quality, portability and convenience. To make that transition into streaming easier for our customers, we put the original Climax DS into the existing Climax chassis, gave it a familiar look, and made it possible to fit it easily into our customers' existing systems. But my, how things have changed in that intervening period. Streaming is now an accepted hi-fi format. There are lots of high-end streamers on the market. And in the intervening 13 years, Linn has evolved dramatically with investment in people, skills, technology, manufacturing capability. And so what we're capable of today with a high-end streaming product is way beyond what we achieved in 2007. And what we're launching today will shock and surprise and delight in the way that Climax DS did back in 2007. Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to introduce to you our next generation, brand new Climax DSM. Climax DSM is our best yet. It's the ultimate streamer. Every element of new Climax DSM is designed from the ground up here at Linn, applying decades of digital technology learnings and expertise. On the outside, an all-new precision machined enclosure design, providing vital acoustic isolation, along with a new level of visual and tactile luxury. And on the inside, the beating heart of new Climax DSM is our groundbreaking first ever all-Linn DAC, which we call organic. Next generation Climax DSM is the closest thing to audio perfection on the market. Together, we will make Climax DSM the most desirable product in the hi-fi industry. Let's meet the team behind new Climax DSM and learn about the incredible innovation that has led to its groundbreaking performance and aesthetics.
Hello, my name's Joe Roger. I'm one of the product trainers here at Linn, and today I'll be your guide. Together, we'll go on a journey through Linn, and I'll share with you the incredible story behind new Climax DSM. Linn has always been at the leading edge of music reproduction. We pioneered streaming back in 2007 as the first company to create a high-end network music player, Climax DS. With it, we brought our extensive experience of designing and manufacturing products that deliver exceptional musical performance, together with our unique understanding of the entire musical process, from artist's microphone to your ear. An understanding gained thanks to our decades-long experience in producing our own studio recordings at Linn Records. Next generation Climax DSM will get you closer to the music than you thought possible, with the new organic DAC providing our most natural sound ever. Every minute detail of Climax DSM has been carefully considered with music in mind. From its exquisite design to its final build here on the factory floor, this all-new streamer is held to our exacting and yes, extreme standards, using the highest quality materials and the most precise processes. We've taken a no-holds-barred approach with Climax DSM in every single element, inside and out, to create the ultimate streamer. Let's now hear from product design lead Adrian Chung. New Climax DSM features an exquisite, precision-engineered, all-new enclosure. So Adrian, could you talk us through the product in a little more detail, please?
Yes, I'd love to. With Climax DSM, every design decision was taken with music in mind. Both inside and out, we've applied our signature attention to detail to ensure the utmost protection of the electronics, ensuring that every last bit of audio performance is delivered intact. Bringing such a detailed design to life relies on the close working relationship we have between our engineering and manufacturing disciplines. Add to that our latest investments in advanced 5-axis CNC machining technology, and we now have complete control over the whole process, enabling us to achieve unprecedented levels of precision and accuracy, machining to the tightest of tolerances. The enclosure is machined from solid, special-grade aluminium. The sheer mass of the product, coupled with internal damping, protects the electronic components from vibrations in the room. Precision-cut pockets and partitions separate the analog, digital, and power stages, better protecting the audio signal from interference. This robust isolation cradles the beating heart of Climax DSM, Organic DAC, the first ever all-Linn digital to analog converter. I think we'll be covering that in more detail a bit later on. The surface of the unit pays homage to its Climax forebearers. The signature Linn smile has been reimagined through a series of diamond-cut circles that echo the grooves of a record. Also a nod to the vinyl that our legendary LP12 plays so beautifully. This dynamic surface responds to its environment with light dancing across the surface. Just ahead of this lies the dial, a thing of beauty in its own right. Now, the dial is a badge of pride, a visible reflection of the attention to detail and incredible engineering that lies inside this extraordinary enclosure. The turned brass bearing celebrates its provenance whilst providing the smooth handling of the precision-cut glass, and an intricate photo-etched stainless steel surround encases each of the 100 status lights. An array of customizable stainless steel smart buttons provide instant access to music, and in combination with the dial, restore that tactile connection between the listener and their music that's been lost in the digital age. And on the front of the product, a panoramic display acts like a mirror, clearly displaying key information when active, but becoming essentially invisible and unobtrusive when not in use.
Thank you, Adrian. It's fantastic to hear from you firsthand precisely what makes new Climax DSM's enclosure so special. So much learned, and yet we're only halfway through the story. Let's have a chat now with Gilad and Phil Budd, Senior Design Engineer, to hear about the new Organic DAC in more detail. So, Gilad, it is my great pleasure to hand over to you first.
Thanks, Joe. It's our decades of developing digital technology expertise that have led to the development of Organic DAC. Now, we have a rich history in high-performance DAC innovation that goes back way before the idea of music streaming ever came around. Numeric, our first DAC, was 1991, and actually the studio version of it was used in the mastering of the Peter Gabriel album, Us. Then we moved on to the Sondex CD12, which was the next evolution of our DAC. And then with Climax DS, we evolved again, that was 2007, until we got to Catalyst in 2016, which gave us digital to analog conversion with greater precision than we'd ever had before. Today, I'm thrilled to introduce our next generation DAC. It's a momentous achievement for Linn. It's our first ever all-Linn homegrown DAC called Organic, and it makes the new Climax DSM our most natural sounding product ever.
That's great. Thanks, Gilad. So now, Phil, it's over to you. Could you please tell us a little bit about how organic actually came to be?
Indeed, thanks, Joe. So until now, we've engineered the best possible results from specially selected third-party DAC chips. Back in 1998, when we designed the CD12, we pushed the envelope of what was achievable from a third-party DAC by specifying a separate upsampling chip before the DAC to improve performance. This technology was evolved and a similar configuration went into the original Climax DS back in 2007. Since then, we've seen more evolutionary steps to the DAC architecture, and the apex of that evolution was really the Catalyst DAC. We knew that to go beyond these steps, we had to separate the conversion stage from the confines of a chip, and this realization signaled the birth of organic. Organic goes beyond evolution of a DAC. It's more like a new species.
So this is a definite first for us at Linn, then?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, yes. Organic DAC is the first ever all-Linn digital to analog converter. Every component has been selected, designed and laid out by a Linn engineer and populated on a Linn circuit board here in our factory. Now, let's expand on that a little bit. We have decades of experience in both analog and digital design, and it's that experience that informs the selection of components and the design of the circuit. We also have decades of experience in optimizing circuit board layout for exceptional audio performance. In the last 15-20 years, we've developed a huge specialism in high-speed digital electronics, and that's a skill set that's been essential to the creation of organic. Finally, when we talk about population of a circuit board here at Linn, we're talking about techniques that we've refined for the production of the highest level of audio products. We can surface mount the smallest of components, leading to shorter signal paths, and we use cutting-edge vapor phase ovens to ensure zero oxidization of the soldered contacts on our boards. And it's the combination of these engineering disciplines that leads to better audio performance. And these disciplines have been used to the full in the creation of our new organic DAC.
So could you go into a little bit more detail about this groundbreaking all-Linn design?
Yes. So with organic DAC, Linn handles every aspect of the digital to analog conversion process. We've designed the entire DAC from first principles, from our own FPGA-based processing stage through into the analog domain with a unique discrete conversion stage. The powerful FPGA processing stage uses custom design algorithms to provide increased upsampling, more precise volume control, and distortion-free modulation. Partnered with that, we have a discrete conversion stage which renders the analog signal with extremely low levels of distortion. And that's thanks to a new ultra-low jitter oscillator and a carefully designed clock distribution network. These two things are then cleverly combined in a unique double-sided design which helps us to minimize the signal paths. The two sections of the organic DAC are designed to work together in perfect harmony. We've precisely controlled and we have relentlessly optimized the circuits for exceptional audio performance. Organic offers significantly lower noise and distortion, measuring better than anything we've achieved before. In fact, our distortion figures are a full 20 dB below what we achieved with Catalyst.
That's astonishing, because Catalyst was as close to the floor as you could get, you know?
Yeah, we've driven the noise floor into the basement now.
Perfect, that's exceptional. So now, Gilad, would you care to share with us if and when this latest innovation will become available in other products throughout our range?
Certainly. So organic DAC is of course available in all variants of Climax DSM, but will very quickly be rolled out and available in the Climax Exact Box as an upgrade, and also as an upgrade for the Climax 350 loudspeaker. So that means every Climax Linn customer out there is going to be able to access the benefits of organic very, very soon.
That's excellent. That's excellent and exciting news for our most invested customers. So now let's head back into the factory and return to Climax DSM itself. So now we have a better understanding of each of the separate ingredients. how do they all come together to make new Climax DSM? My colleague, Gordon Inch, who's also a member of the Linn training team, is here to share more. Gordon.
Thank you, Joe. Every Linn product is hand-built by a highly skilled engineer. They take all the elements, make sure they're perfect before building them into the finished product. We call this process single-stage build, and it ensures that there's always someone here at Linn taking responsibility for every product. So much so that they sign their name to it. Every Climax DSM is signed with pride by the person who built it. And make no mistake, our engineers are difficult to please. They'll never sign off on a product that isn't perfect. As you can see, the signed foot aligns perfectly with the dial, creating a direct connection between the maker and the user that's so important to us here at Linn.
Now, let's find out more about technical specifications and connectivity options. There are two variants of Climax DSM, plus a new Climax System Hub. Gordon, could you break these down for us, please?
Of course. Firstly, it's important to note that all streaming and connected sources, analog, digital and wireless, across both Climax DSM variants, will benefit from our all-new organic DAC. So with that in mind, let's meet Climax DSM audio variant, adding 24-bit 384 kHz streaming and DSD256 as supported audio formats, for the very best performance from all streaming sources and stored music collections. We have 3 pairs of analog inputs, 1 XLR and 2 RCA phono, to connect an array of analog music sources. And these will also benefit from the new higher performance, lower distortion ADC, which has its own circuit board and dedicated power supply. The new ADC also benefits from the isolation of electronics provided by the enclosure itself. Below the analog inputs sit the digital inputs, which are populated on a dedicated board in the lower half of the product and are separated internally by a metal partition to protect the analog components and the organic DAC from any interference. Going from right to left, 2 exact link ports enable connection directly to LP12 via Eureka 2. Then we have 3 digital inputs, 1 Toslink and 2 SP-Diff, one of which is configurable as either an input or an output, providing even more flexibility for the connection of sources. A new USB audio class 2 or Type B input enables connection directly to a computer to create the ultimate performance standalone DAC. An optical Ethernet port provides complete isolation between Climax DSM and the network, eradicating the possibility of noise. Finally, with wireless connectivity, customers can also enjoy convenient connection of sources via Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. In terms of outputs, we have a pair of balanced XLR and a pair of RCA phono. Both sets can be used simultaneously, with each retaining full performance. Next, we have Climax DSM AV variant. This option has all the same connectivity that I've just mentioned, but in addition offers HDMI functionality for connection of AV sources, which also benefit from organic DAC. So you can see the HDMI connections are located on the lower half of the product on their own dedicated circuit board, separated by that internal partition that we talked about. We have 4 HDMI inputs and 1 HDMI output, which also offers eARC support for smart TVs, ensuring that optimal audio is selected automatically. The AV variant can also be expanded from 2-channel stereo to up to 7.1 surround sound, with the addition of our surround sound processing upgrade module. And finally, we have Climax System Hub, for those seeking an all-Linn performance solution. As you can see, it's housed in the same exquisite enclosure as next generation Climax DSM, so benefits from the improved acoustic isolation. It also includes the new improved ADC development, and in terms of connectivity, offers identical inputs as Climax DSM AV variant, including the option to upgrade to surround sound. And of course, we have space optimization. It's compatible with all 3 products and allows customers to hear their music and not their room.
Thanks, Gordon. With these 3 distinct products, there's a high-performance solution that will meet the needs of the most discerning listeners. Gilad, could you please talk us through to whom each of these products will appeal?
Next generation Climax DSM completes a new family lineup of streamers for Linn that share a family look and feel, but are for very distinct customer types. So we have Climax DSM, Select DSM, and Magic DSM. But with Climax DSM's stunning performance and aesthetic, it's clear that it sits at the very top of the range. Climax DSM is the ultimate digital streaming product. And placed at the front of any system, it will take customers as close as they can get to streaming audio perfection. With its new benchmark-setting performance, we anticipate it will appeal to the most demanding hi-fi customers all over the world. The two variants of Climax DSM simply provide choice and application. The audio variant is for the music lover who purely wants to have audio sources connected to their Climax DSM. And the audio-video variant is for music lovers who also want to get the very best from their movie sources too. The Climax System Hub is the perfect partner for someone who wants a full Linn system, either with Climax ExactBox or with Climax 350 speakers, both of which can have the organic DAC right away for a sound that's out of this world.
Thanks very much, Gilad. Finally, I'm sure you're all wondering, with so much investment and innovation going into new Climax DSM, what does it cost? Gilad?
Next generation Climax DSM, both variants retail for £30,000, including VAT in the UK. That new price point that we're setting with Climax DSM reflects its superior performance and aesthetic, beyond anything we've delivered before. The Climax System Hub will retail for £15,000, including VAT in the UK. Pricing for all local currencies will be available in the pitch deck that goes with the launch.
Thanks ever so much, Gilad. So, Climax DSM, a product adding value to the lives of our customers with its incredible sound. Before we take a short comfort break, would you mind summarising the key takeaways for us, please, Gilad?
Absolutely. We've heard from Gordon about the differences between the new variants of Climax DSM and the amazing new feature set. Phil talked us through the technology and innovation behind Organic DAC, the beating heart of new Climax DSM. And Adrian told us all about the exquisite new precision machined casework, providing a new level of visual and tactile luxury. It's the combination of these that make Climax DSM the closest you'll get to streaming audio perfection.
So there we have it. We'll now take a much needed 10-minute comfort break, after which tune back in to hear about what we have on offer to support you in selling Climax DSM. See you soon. Welcome back. Let's get started by talking about the support toolkits we have available to help you hit the ground running with Climax DSM in market. And for this, I'll hand over to Lindsay Tumulty, our marketing lead.
Thanks, Joe. Hi, everyone. Climax DSM and its beating heart in organic DAC are momentous innovations for us here at Linn, and we want to work together with you to tell their compelling story and make Climax DSM the most desirable product in the hi-fi industry. So, how do we do that? To share the excitement in market, we have created show-stopping marketing assets, comprehensive and tailored trade support tools, including our richest ever trade-in scheme, and an extensive global press campaign, making the quality and range of our supporting launch materials beyond anything Linn has done before. With our Campaign-in-a-box toolkit, you'll have everything you need at your fingertips and ready to roll from day one, so customers will be eager to hear just what all the buzz is about. Susan Duncan, our brand manager, and the creator of our show-stopping suite of marketing assets, is here to tell you more.
Thanks, Lindsay. We're incredibly excited to share these assets with you today. A product like no other naturally deserves a campaign-in-a-box like no other. And we have some secret weapon assets that will really help bring the unique story of Climax DSM and the groundbreaking organic DAC to life. We've created two powerful new video assets, a making of Climax DSM film to share its rich heritage story in a customer-friendly way, and an organic DAC animation which tells the story of the innovative new technology at the heart of next generation Climax DSM and simplifies the complex technology behind it. Let's watch some highlights from these now.
By investing in advanced CNC machining technology, we have complete control over the whole process and are able to achieve unprecedented levels of precision and accuracy, machining to the tightest of tolerances. Each product is assembled by a highly skilled engineer, and at the final stage, they sign their name on it, a mark of pride that it meets the incredibly high standards that we set ourselves.
Organic DAC is the first ever all-in digital to analog converter. Every component has been selected, designed and laid out by a Linn engineer and populated on a Linn circuit board here in our factory. Designed without compromise and manufactured entirely in-house, the homegrown all-Linn DAC combines FPGA processing with a discrete conversion stage, enabling us to precisely control and optimize every stage of the digital to analog conversion process for the first time. Organic offers significantly lower noise and distortion, measuring better than anything we've achieved before. It expertly performs the digital to analog conversion to achieve the most accurate recreation of the original music signal, revealing even more of the tiny details that provide a closer emotional connection with the music.
Climax DSM gets you closer to the music than any other streamer on the market. Listen and compare for yourself.
These video assets really bring the story of Climax DSM and organic DAC to life and can be used in so many ways. On social media, your website, in email communications, playing in store and at events. Digital marketing is an ideal way to reach new customers to drive them to your store or website. And for this, we've included a selection of attention-grabbing digital ads, web banners and web copy. Use the digital ads to set up search and display campaigns on the Google Display Network, or serve beautifully designed targeted Facebook and Instagram ads through the Facebook for Business platform. We know the ever-evolving world of digital marketing can be hard to get your head around, so Lindsay will tell you more about how we can help you to make the most of these tools.
We recommend using Facebook campaigns to drive customer action. Facebook builds customer loyalty over time and helps you identify new customers using lookalike targeting features. Google is best to drive product awareness. Based on our campaign experience, Google drives twice as much traffic to websites and is 3 times as cost effective to reach as many people as possible, really maximising your budgets. But it does score a little lower on making customers take action. They both have their role in effective digital marketing. Reach out to our team if you would like any additional information on this.
Thanks, Lindsay. With its striking new design, Climax DSM is incredibly photogenic, so you'll also find a suite of stunning product and lifestyle photography that can be used however you like in your marketing materials and activities. Printed on in-store point of sale, on social channels, or on your website, for example. Combine these with the messaging documents in the Campaign-in-a-box, and you'll never be stuck for how best to describe Climax DSM or the all-new Linn-designed organic DAC. Ready-made email copy and header assets will let you quickly and easily email your customer base using whichever your favourite email marketing platform is. And there's a wealth of rich content in there for you to share on social too, which will help you generate some customer conversations and drive your own unique launch story. We've even created an infographic for a new type of content to pique your customers' interest about why Climax DSM is just so impressive. On top of all these marketing assets, Campaign-in-a-box includes a pitch deck and fact sheet to help you with your customer proposals. It's in these sales enablement assets that you'll find your country-specific pricing and discount terms. You'll also find an event toolkit with presentations, scripts, and a suggested demo playlist to help you run Climax DSM events with your customers. Finally, we also invite you to create your own unboxing video. Lindsay, can you share why unboxing is important to customers?
Absolutely. So an unboxing video is a recording of yourself opening items for the first time. These are hugely popular on YouTube. In fact, unboxing is typed into Google 90,000 times each minute. These videos let potential customers experience a product through your reactions. They get an insight into the excitement it generates and that feeling of getting something new and experiencing it for the first time. Unboxing videos have a proven track record in getting prospective customers at the consideration stage over the line to purchasing. Your customers value your opinion, and we recommend you share it with them in this engaging style of video.
Exactly. And to support you with this, in your Campaign-in-a-box, you'll find an example unboxing video, an overview guide, a filming walkthrough, and suggested equipment to guide you through the process of creating your own video. As ever, think of Campaign-in-a-box as an all-in-one sales and marketing toolkit designed to help you drive sales with impactful marketing activity straight from launch.
Amazing. Thanks so much, Susan. A huge amount of support tools are in there to help you and your teams make Climax DSM the most desirable product in the hi-fi industry. All our Campaign-in-a-box assets will, as ever, be hosted from today on our trade site for easy access. If you would like any guidance on how to use any of the marketing assets, please reach out to your Linn Business Development Manager, and our marketing or training team members will be more than happy to jump on a video call and share some tips and tricks to help you be part of the story. So, with all of those great marketing materials available to you, what will we be doing to launch Climax DSM into market alongside you? You will find our planned marketing activity detailed in the pitch deck, and we really encourage you to align your activity alongside ours. We can, as we did with our last product launch, take over the internet and be sure no one misses this new benchmark product in market. But now, more on that extensive global press campaign we teased you with. We're hosting a similar session to this for press tomorrow. We have some big titles lined up to launch too, and after our session, our press outreach and print ad campaigns will begin. We will feature Climax DSM ads in multiple titles across the UK, US and Germany. We will also feature ads in custom installation press and through our CEDIA partnership activity. Look out in the big hitters like What Hi-Fi, Hi-Fi Plus, Stereophile, The Absolute Sound, Audio and Stereo Play, Hidden Wires and Essential Install, to name just a small selection. And you will also see an early insight review come out in Hi-Fi Plus this week. We've gone big with our press partnerships to spread the word far and wide. Tomorrow, our press session is set to be very well attended by over 40 titles from all over the world. So we're confident that no matter where you're tuning in from today, we'll soon have supporting press coverage relevant to your customers. The market will be buzzing with Climax DSM. Now, we will host a Launch LinnCast direct to end customers on Friday the 26th of March at 5 p.m. UK time. And this will coincide with updates to our website and our social media campaign kickoff. Now please do remember that all information on Climax DSM is under embargo until 6 p.m. UK time on Friday the 26th of March following our customer launch. On the 26th, we will also start shipping your demo orders of Climax DSM, and our integrated marketing campaign will commence on the 29th of March to align with them arriving in your stores. We will send an email to our Linn customer database and start serving digital ads on the Google Display Network and social to really get the message out there. Now, I will take my own advice from earlier and we will launch an integrated campaign across Facebook and Google for maximum impact. We will host a series of face-to-face experiential events in the coming months across the world, and we'll keep you up to date as plans evolve in line with local restrictions. I appreciate this has been a lot of information to take in today, but please don't worry, we have designed impactful training assets to help you and your teams understand the finer details of Climax DSM and Organic DAC quickly and easily. Our new Linn Academy module is designed to provide a simple way of learning remotely, but as ever, we can also host dedicated one-to-one training sessions with our product trainers. Simply reach out to your business development manager to set up a session. Now, the final pieces of the puzzle are our trade support resources. A familiar face to many of you, Katie Wilson, our Linn Business Development Manager, is here to tell you a little more.
Thanks, Lindsay. We truly value the partnership we have with all of our specialist retailers, and we're thrilled to collaborate with you on this incredibly exciting launch. We understand that circumstances have evolved. To assist you in adapting to these new conditions and enable you to maximise the potential of this opportunity, we are pleased to be able to offer you some unique new support. Firstly, we've created a trade-in support scheme. To reward loyal Linn owners who wish to upgrade to the brand new Climax DSM, we will offer up to £7,000 trade-in value on their existing model, and you can find the equivalent value in your local currency in your pitch deck. All you need to do is provide the customer details and the serial number of the trade-in, deduct this from the published retail price, and then your usual margins will apply. And as an extra bonus, you keep the traded-in model. We want your existing Climax customers to be able to upgrade to experience the new benchmark in music streaming. And to help facilitate this, what better way than with a trade-in which shows them exactly how much their product has retained its value over the years. Secondly, we so wish we could have hosted you here at our factory in Glasgow to allow you to experience Climax DSM for yourselves. As we're unable to do that at the moment, we want to share Climax DSM with you in a different way. So you can experience its jaw-dropping clarity and its power, we would like to offer you a try before you buy experience. This means you can place an order for demonstration and experience it at home or in store with no invoice terms starting for 14 days. But we're so convinced that when you hear Climax DSM, you will simply have to keep it.
Great, thanks so much, Katie. So there we have it. Our show-stopping marketing assets, a comprehensive and tailored trade support toolkit, including that trade-in scheme, and our extensive global press campaign. A campaign-in-a-box toolkit like no other, giving you everything you need for a successful launch. So remember, after this session, check out Campaign-in-a-box on our trade site. Be sure to check the pitch deck for dates to align your marketing activity alongside ours, and I can't wait to see those unboxing videos. Together, we will make Climax DSM the most desirable product in the hi-fi industry.
Thank you very much, Lindsay. So, let's get going with our marketing plans from the evening of the 26th of March. And with that, we're concluding our presentations for today. Thank you very much, everyone. Now it's time to get your questions answered. To help this next session run more smoothly, we previewed some of the information you've been given today to a cross-section of our trade partners across the globe who were able to pose questions to Gilad and the team directly that we're sure will be the most pertinent to all of you. We will also be taking questions live in the comments and will endeavour to answer as many of them as possible over the next 30 minutes or so. But before we share this Q&A session with you, let's now take a much needed 5-minute comfort break. You at home will see a countdown clock appear on your screen, so be sure to tune back in when that hits 0. See you soon. So for the first question, we're going to Alan Boyd at Loud and Clear, just down the road in Glasgow. Alan, what's your question, please?
That's great, thanks for that. I'd just like to ask, what's going to happen to the existing Linn Climax DSM?
So the current Climax DSM will continue to be supported and sold, and that means that you can advise any of your customers who've bought the product recently and who don't wish to trade in, can't imagine there'll be many of them, or maybe more crucially the customers who buy the traded in units, that Climax DSM in its current form will continue to be supported, and we would aim to introduce the organic DAC upgrade for the existing Climax DS, Climax DSM in approximately 12 to 18 months time. And I'll just caveat that with there's always uncertainty around development, but that would be our intention at this point.
That's great, thanks Gellard.
Thanks very much for your question, Alan. So now we've got a question from Rainer in Bodenheim in Germany. You had a question to do with the trade-in.
Yes. Will there be a trade-in for the Climax System Hub? Will customers be able to get a special offer?
Yes, so I'll take that question if that's all right. So I am pleased to say that yes, there will be a trade-in programme to support the Climax System Hub. It will work exactly the same as the Climax DSM trade-in scheme, and it will be up to the value of £4,000, £4,000 British pounds and €4,000, as I know you're in Germany, Rainer. If you would like to know anything else about this, please check your local currencies in the pitch deck, which you will find on the trade site.
Thank you very much for your question. So for our next question, we have Steve Carroll from LMC in Arizona. Steve, what's your question, please?
Just really one about connectivity. We have several clients with high-end preamps, so how we connect DSM to high-end preamps, and also for clients with headphones, or with the opportunity with headphone connectivity.
I think I'll pick that one up. Hi Steve. For clients who have their own high-end preamp, we can disable the internal volume control on Climax DSM in the same way that we can on Select DSM. If you have a headphone user, there are two analog outputs on Climax DSM, RCA and XLR. They are independent and isolated from each other, so one could easily feed a headphone amp, and then you can toggle between the two. If you've got a headphone amp that has a digital input, you can use what the SPDIF input configured as an output to feed the same headphone amp.
So now we'll go back to Steve for another question.
Yeah, on the design of the product, will there be Climax amplifiers in the same casework, and similarly sort of radical in the same casework? Will that stay as it is?
Our plans are to keep the radical and the power amps in the same casework as they're in today. And the Climax DSM, I think, because it's a source, it kind of sits out on its own and it has its tactile interfaces that go with it. So the design styling considerations are very different in each of those cases. So yeah, the short answer is that we have no plans to update the chassis of the amps or the radical.
Thank you very much, Steve. So now we'll go to John Nelson at Ripcaster in Reading. John, how are you?
Very good, thanks. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Very well.
Okay, so a couple of questions. The first one's about the screen on the new Climax DSM. Is that the same as the Select?
I'll answer that one. It's a new, larger display on Climax DSM, so the size has increased to an 8-inch wide format display. So with that, we're able to display much more content on there in terms of your artist, album, track info. So yes, it's a new, larger panel that's on Select DSM.
And still monochrome?
Yes, still monochrome. So again, the same design decisions that went into informing the Select, the design of the interface on Select, have informed the design of Climax DSM. So the key driver there really is about clarity of information to the listener and their listening position. So we felt that the monochrome text-based display provides the best way of communicating that for displaying that useful content to the listener whilst being sympathetic to the design of the product.
Okay, thank you. The casework is all now CNC aluminium. Does that affect Wi-Fi or Bluetooth performance?
Hi John, I'll pick that one up. There should be no effect on Wi-Fi or Bluetooth at all, as the antenna for both Wi-Fi and Bluetooth runs behind the screen itself and isn't masked in any way by the enclosure.
And lastly, I understand there's some changes to the Linn website. What's happening there?
Fab, I would like to take that one. So today is not just a fantastic change for our Climax DSM, we are actually introducing a brand new Linn website as well. So we've taken Climax into the future and we will be taking our new website into the future as well. It is built on a future facing platform. It looks a lot fresher, a lot cleaner. And we will be launching that on Friday the 26th of March at 6 p.m. You'll see all of that starting to go live, so please do check out our new website and please do feel free to direct any of your customers straight over there to have a quick look as well. And I know we have some of our German team joined us today as well, and I'm very pleased to announce that we will, in the coming months, hopefully by summer, have a German Linn website too, and that starts to open us up to have the Linn website in many different languages to serve our truly global customer base.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you very much for your questions, John. Right, so I believe we've got another question from Steve in Arizona. Steve, could you please ask your question?
Hi there. DCS has been using FPGA technology for several years. Just wonder how we can sort of differentiate organic from other competitor products in the market.
Okay, so what really differentiates the organic DAC from other FPGA and discrete processing stages is the abilities that we have in-house, especially regarding high-speed digital electronics and the layout of high-speed digital electronics, to really minimize those path lengths. We use multi-layer boards, we have the latest in surface mount technology out there, and everything is done in-house, so we can absolutely guarantee that we've got the best layout. We go through iteration processes and we end up with the best signal path and the shortest signal lengths, and that's something that's pretty unique in our industry.
Excellent, thank you very much. So Rainer, I believe you have another question for us.
Yes, what will happen to Accurate?
Okay, so we knew that when we introduced Select DSM that Select would gradually pick up from Accurate, and that is what's been happening. At some point we will introduce Organic DAC to Select DSM, maybe in roughly 24 months time. We don't know for certain. And at that point, I think the performance of Select DSM will be far superior to Accurate. So I think Accurate continues for the next couple of years, and then we see what happens.
Thank you for your time, attention, and for tuning in to join us here at Linn HQ. We've journeyed through the factory and met the team behind the incredible Climax DSM. We sincerely hope that you've enjoyed this insight into Linn and the no-holds-barred approach we have taken in creating this new benchmark product for the hi-fi industry. So now, just to recap on some dates, we are sharing information with you today under embargo, and we'll be sharing it with press tomorrow. Demonstration orders for Climax DSM can be placed now, but we ask that you only start talking to customers after our customer launch on the 26th of March at 6 p.m. UK time. From this point, customer orders can be placed. We'll commence shipping from the 26th of March, and when you receive Climax DSM, we invite you to share your unboxing of it with the world. And now, Gilad, I'll just pass over to you for a couple of parting comments.
With its incredible suite of marketing materials, a defined trade-in scheme, and a try before you buy option, we've aimed to give you everything you need to order, demonstrate, and sell new Climax DSM. With audio and video variants, as well as a system hub, every one of your existing Climax DS and Climax DSM owners has the ability to trade in and trade up. And Climax DSM's incredible performance and looks, as well as extensive connectivity and exciting new features, will provide the broadest appeal to new customers seeking the very best on the market. With the groundbreaking new organic DAC at its heart, combined with its exquisite new enclosure, next generation Climax DSM is the ultimate audio streamer. It presents an enormous opportunity for us all. Together, let's make new Climax DSM the most desirable product in the hi-fi industry. Thank you for joining us.
Goodbye.
Bye.